Good for this session will be Rachel Hayes of Israel. She's opening at 66 kilograms. Great looking stage there.
Pretty good to me.
Yep, that's the way you want to open a session, you know. And yesterday we kicked off the action with 2 B sessions as well, the women's 48 kilogram B and the men's 62 kilogram B. As we watched a replay of Hayes' lift here, there was some great action yesterday, but also a good bit of red on the board. We did have some bomb outs. We did have a little bit of gamesmanship and some good back and forth even in those B sessions. So hopefully we'll get today started off on a good run of some made lifts here. And even though the action started yesterday afternoon, the opening ceremonies were last night. So this is kind of the first full day of action here in Anaheim.
It is. We were able to have only one session, A group, for the 56 kilo category, which meant happily we have Brian Riesenauer from the USA in the A group. And that allowed us a morning off yesterday, which I can believe me was tremendously appreciated by everybody.
All right, this will bring up Freya Morrow of Great Britain, opening at 69 kilograms.
Yeah, nice job by Freya.
Now we've seen her open around 69 or even 70 kilograms a couple of times over the past year, including at the Junior Worlds in Tokyo earlier this year, where she actually opened with 70 kilograms. So,
yeah, she's a promising young lifter over there in Great Britain. They're pretty high on her expectations. I actually had a brief amount of breakfast with both Ireland and Great Britain this morning, and Freya was there. She looked pretty confident going into this, so hoping for a good total from her.
All right, the lifter again becomes Hayes, her second attempt, 69 kilograms.
No luck for Hayes. I wonder if Hayes is Israeli American or Israeli British. The name suggests to me she's most likely not full blood Israeli.
Well, let's take a look at this. I thought this was quite a fight here at the bottom, and she kind of strays a little to the left. I thought she actually might have a chance at that for a split second, but not able to stabilize.
Well, yeah, right. She never really got quite fixed out there. She'd probably been able to stand up if she just got that into position. She was an inch away or so, but good for Rachel. I'm sure she'll come back and make a third. And she made her opener, and ultimately, we all know that make your opener is the most important thing in weightlifting, or one of the most important things. I don't think there's a single coach who says, please don't make your opener.
Just build up the drama a little bit.
That's
Excite
exactly
everyone.
it. Exactly. You want to give them, it's like being fashionably late to a party. You want to give one miss, so you have some expectation, you know?
Well,
You're talking of openers, I'm pretty surprised to see Yenny Torres from Colombia in the B group. I don't know how I missed that when I was looking at the star groups, but that shows you the quality of the A session to come this afternoon with Caitlin Hogan and the Team USA and several other the top lifters in the world in this category. But when Colombia's in the B group, something special is coming in the A group.
Well, this will be Hayes' third and final attempt in the snatch. As far as I can tell, this would be an international competition PR for her by 2 kilograms. So the most we've ever seen her do up a weight class was 67 kilograms, and that was back in 2016.
Good job for her. Oh, almost duck walks it out, but good attempt. She is 66, and as you rightly say, her highest in 58s actually was 67. So opening with 66, 1 kilo below your international PR is certainly not too bad.
Well, if there's one stage to do it, it's this one, and you can see right there. I thought that her knee did not touch the platform there, but it came close on that duck walk.
That's what I was expecting it to go. I saw a knee going down there, and you see, she perhaps is too experienced to do that, but you see that with many less experienced lifters with the knee. But it was interesting to see her not do that. So we've got Brun coming up for Denmark. Denmark? Correct. Yes, Denmark.
That's correct.
It's nice to see so many of these Nordic countries entering teams into a non-qualification worlds. Some of these smaller nations, such as Denmark, Sweden's got a team here. We've got a good, nice setup.
All right, opening attempt for Bryn. 71 kilograms. The heaviest we've actually ever seen her open on the international stage. So. All right, has to chase it forward a little bit, but that'll be a good lift. And that's certainly significantly up on what we've seen her open in Split, Croatia a little bit earlier in 2017. She opened at 65 kilograms in this bodyweight category. So let's watch the replay here. 6 kilos up on her previous international opener, as far as we know. Looking pretty strong. Caught that really high. Just had to walk it out a little bit, but no problem for her. And this will bring up Giorgia Russo of Italy, opening at 72 kilograms.
This is another athlete which the home federation is definitely pretty excited about, and her progress. Italy have become bullish with this competition, I think, a little bit. Let's pause a moment. Oh, that's probably why.
Yep.
Italy have been a really solidly progressing federation. I'd like to think the US is the fastest increasing federation in terms of results.
You might be a little biased, but
I may have a small bias. I am also, don't ignore my comments on Great Britain too, because I have a bias there, and maybe not so much attention to Canada because I'm technically Canadian too. So
what citizenships don't you have, Phil? We'll talk about that after Frere Morrow's second attempt here.
I have no Vietnam passport.
Fair enough. Okay.
No luck for Frere on her second attempt.
We'll check on the replay. I think we'll have a better angle on the replay. And that bar in the bottom, while she was caught in the bottom, just starts drifting back, and we can see her fighting it, rocking back onto the heels, but not able to overcome that. Great fight, though. Really high hip start position there. Just not able to save that. So she'll have one more attempt.
I think GB have taken the strategy as well, this particular competition, of entering a younger team. They've got some injury problems with some of their higher profile lifters. Sarah Davis is here with a really nice total in the A group. She's in 6th on the start list in the A group. But she's here, I think, to get some experience at the senior level. I think it'd be fair to say for Frere.
Frere is one of two junior lifters. We have also a youth lifter in this session. So certainly on the younger side and a part of that young British squad here. A lot of young teams this year we've noticed.
I think that's pretty traditional in the first year of the Olympic quadrennial. Many teams are looking for their national team for the Olympic Games, that same quad. And you often see a turnover of lifters. We've certainly seen that with the Colombian entries this year, and a number of the other bigger teams.
All right, third attempt tomorrow. And not able to secure it, loses it backwards. So we'll check out the replay here. I think she kind of maybe tried to sneak under that barbell a little too quickly. But she will be credited with her opener at 69 kilograms. Check out the replay here. Yeah, never really had great control on that one.
No, I think there was no chance on that one. But let's see how Denmark can do.
And if successful, this would be an international competition PR for Brun. So
yeah, another relatively inexperienced lifter, not as young, but young in terms of her international career. I suspect she probably came from another sport, possibly through CrossFit, into weightlifting.
All right, looks pretty good to me. Like her first attempt, has to chase it forward just a little bit. That's good enough for 3 white lights. And Phil, you mentioned that that's a trend I've noticed among a lot of the Nordic athletes as well. A lot of them will come over from a previous sport, or they'll have found weightlifting through CrossFit, or maybe transitioning from gymnastics. Great looking lift there. And I was fortunate enough this morning, I actually rode the bus over to the convention center with most of the Icelandic team. And you'll be hard pressed to find friendlier people.
Oh, they're just great. They're Asgir, their president of the Icelandic Federation. It's just a wonderful dude. I mean, he's great to work with, very friendly, very controversial. He's a very nice guy. And here's Norway, speaking of Nordic countries. The only one that starts with Nor.
All right, that's a great opener for Ovstis of Norway. All right, we're at 75 kilos on the bar. She was the first athlete to open with that. And that's kind of in this B session, the kind of marker I think it's going to separate the bottom half and the top half of the session as far as athletes opening around that range.
I think that's probably right. We're seeing Vietnam come up now. Vietnam are famous for their good small lifters. You know, they tend to show up and leave a competition before we've started the heavyweights. 85 or above, they're not here. 69 or above, they're not here. It's again interesting to see them and Colombia showing up in the B group, and maybe Spain as well. I'd throw into that category.
All right, maybe comes up a little fast on that for the lifter. This is the first we've ever seen her compete internationally as a 53.
What's she been doing before, 48?
She is traditionally a 48 kilo lifter.
I wonder if they saw some opportunities in 53 versus what is a very deep 48 category. Both these categories really, especially in the A groups, are pretty close. The 48 and the 53, but you traditionally see some movement between those two bodyweight categories. It's many countries in the world. Their culture doesn't lend itself to having a 48 kilo natural athlete. Although I did speak to an ex-softball player 2 weeks ago who was getting started in weightlifting, for whom she would struggle to be 44 kilos. It's the first time I might have had that conversation. And good luck to her. We hope she does well and it becomes a solid 48 for us, or whatever that category becomes, of course. We can talk about that in a bit. Seeing now Mauritius, Ranavasova, and I probably have absolutely butchered that name.
I think it was close. I think you were pretty close. Solid looking opener for her. Mauritius is on the board.
Yep, I'm mildly expecting Avanish Bandhu from Mauritius, who's back home, member of the IWF Coaching and Research Committee, and a really good guy to correct me on that pronunciation in a few minutes.
If your phone will light up in just a second.
So if I pronounce it differently during the clean and jerk, that's what's happened.
All right. That's a good looking lift for Russo on her second attempt, the lifter from Italy. Not using much of that 1 minute clock she had, so making quick work of her second attempt there. Let's check out the replay. Great technician. I can certainly see why the Italian Federation is bullish on this young lifter.
Yeah, very, very nice performance from the Italians so far. And 75 is a good level snatch in the 53s. It is. I think the interesting thing is we've got no C group here, like we had in Houston. So I think rather than the C moving up to the B, it's more of a there is no C.
We certainly do see some of that a bit of a spread in this session. All right. Here's No's second attempt. And again, seems to have some stability issues standing that lift up, closer than on the first attempt, but not quite there. She's a lifter who we've seen go as high as 82 kilograms in the snatch, but a body weight category down. So we know it's well within her capabilities, but check out the replay here. Something just not quite clicking yet today for her.
No.
Very fast, and she was 95% of the way there, just not able to stand up all the way and secure it overhead to get the down signal. So she'll be following herself, 2 minutes on the clock. One of 3 junior athletes in this session. We have a youth athlete in this session we have yet to see. Phil mentioned her a little earlier in the broadcast. A little surprised to even see her in the B session, actually.
Yeah, I was really not expecting that. Yeni Sistera Torres. Very, very talented lifter from Colombia. And really, I'm surprised to see any Colombian in the B group, if I'm totally honest.
Well, compared to the Pan American Championships earlier this year, where they just seemed to be at the top of every session they were in.
Where we just simply put the Colombian anthem on repeat and then sort of left it there.
It saved a lot of time.
It did. It was just a efficient way to do things, really.
All right, this is a make-or-break situation for her. Every other lifter we've seen so far in this session has made at least one successful attempt, so this is to stay in the running to post a total here.
No luck for Vietnam.
Loses that one behind. She looks strong in the pull and in a lot of the phases of the lift today, but just not able to put it all together. So still has a chance to come out and make clean and jerks, but unfortunately will not post a total today.
Yeah, she's the first one to unfortunately not do that. Several athletes on the board, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 athletes on the board so far, so not so bad.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the snatch portion of the women's 53-kilogram B session here in Anaheim, and after Brun takes her attempt, Phil, I'd love to pick your brain a little bit about what it's like to organize an event on this scale. The lifter from Denmark, 76 kilograms, third and final attempt.
That was much nicer.
That's her best looking one yet. All right, she's 3 for 3.
Yeah, no, good for her. She's happy. Good day at the office for her. No red lights of shame, as I've begun to call them. We have, for those who haven't seen, there's no lift and it's not so clear on the webcast, in-house the lights all go red on the platform. Not just the 3 lights for the referees, but the lights actually covering the platform go red. It's an idea we picked up from Great Britain, actually. They do that in the national championships, and it's sort of fun.
So you really know you didn't make the list.
Yes, you really know. What's interesting is if there's a jury stop, and we have to change that to the gold and very nice party lights for the making the lift.
All right, looks like we do have a change, so this will bring up the first lift of a lifter from India, and I might have a little bit of difficulty with this name. Kumacham, I think.
Kumukcham.
Opening at 77.
If anybody can correct us on that, we'd more than happily take your advice. That looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, great opener.
Nice and solid. India have been in camp in Las Vegas for a couple of weeks going into this competition, and been here in the US for some time now. Almost a month they'll be here by the time they leave. And that's very nice to see the solid opener there. And she's looked, from what I understand, pretty good during training camp, pretty good in the training hall too. And the Indian team have been a pleasure to work with that whole time.
Yeah, not a lot to say bad with that lift. This will bring up the third and final attempt for Russo.
Less good than the first two. The first two I'd have put money on her making all three, but
Yeah.
you never know sometimes.
We can watch on the replay here. Just kind of looks slow off the ground.
Yeah, I
And
didn't quite have the acceleration on that she did on the first two lifts.
yeah, never kind of stayed, never kept attention on that. Well, this will bring out the first attempt for a lifter we've mentioned several times so far during this session. Yeni Sinistera Torres of Colombia, a lifter we have seen on the international stage several times. She is still a youth lifter, birth year of 2000, and a lifter who I've personally come to really admire, and I actually love watching her compete. Her technique is pretty exciting to watch. So let's see her open here with 78 kilograms. Colombia, one of really the premier weightlifting countries in the world at the moment. And we'll watch on the replay a good bit of movement in her start and bringing the bar off the ground, but it works for her.
Yeah, they've done. I mean, it's their technique is always pretty good. We've had great experience with them in the Pan American region, and it's no surprise to see her just basically abuse that barbell.
So, Phil, for those just tuning in to this women's 53 kilogram B session here at the 2017 IWF World Championships, it seems like just yesterday there was another IWF World Championships on American soil, and that's because for the first time they're consecutive.
Correct. We had the 2015 Worlds in Houston, Texas, and you'll see a number of hallmarks of that event here. We're very proud to have it for a second time. And yeah, hosting back-to-back World Championships is exciting. There's been several times in the last month where I've wondered exactly why I signed up for this event, and questioned my own sanity, quite frankly. But it's tremendous honor to host it. I'm excited to see Team USA get underway later today, and looking forward to calm down a little bit so we can, as an organizing committee, enjoy what's happening.
All right, second attempt for Ostis of Norway. Had a great looking opener at 75. All right, nice patience in the bottom. Comes away with a good second attempt, so she's 2 for 2 so far. Check out the replay here. And while we're checking out her second attempt here on the replay, Phil, you'd be hard-pressed to find any organizing committee for any federation that's been busier than USA Weightlifting has been this year, because not only are you hosting the Worlds and obviously a litany of national events, including some new ones this year, you also hosted and organized the Pan American Championships.
Correct, which is a very different event to this. We did that in Miami, Florida, at the Mississauga Resort on the Mississauga Indian Range. I'll pause a little bit so we can watch the lift.
All right, does have to duck walk it a little bit, but comes away with a good lift. Let's check out that replay there. That takes a pretty supreme level of mobility and core stability, but she makes it work.
Yep, and I think Mauritius has either 1 or 2 lifters here, so we are hoping for a very nice performance here, and good for her if she comes up and makes her third too.
All right, 2-minute clock. Inovasoa looks like, I think we will have a change here, actually. It looks like they might be keeping that 2-minute clock, actually. All right. Yep, we do have a change, and that will bring up Lopez Ferrer of Mexico.
Mexico have been, again, another team that's been reasonably consistent in their improvement, especially at the youth levels. They've done a great job in managing their youth program. Azero Martinez, they're one of the head youth coaches, and the guy who's coaching here is Zhao from China. Have really done a good job bringing that program along, along with their female high performance director. I say female only because that's the old. I remember that specifically, but I don't remember her name. I want to say it was Anna, but I don't specifically remember.
Great looking opener from Lopez Ferrer. And we actually, in front of me, I have results for her competition history going all the way back to the 2009 Youth World Championships in Chiang Mai, where as a 48 kilogram lifter, she finished with a 52 kilogram snatch. So,
oh wow,
we have.
That's a significant improvement.
You know, over the past, yeah, it's interesting to see. We have really detailed competition history for her over the past 8 years. So, looking forward to chatting more about her, and this will bring up the opening attempt for
Teneri Hernandez Martin.
Oh, Spain.
Of Spain.
A lifter you said you were a bit surprised to see here in the B session as compared to
yeah,
BA.
we saw her train again in Vegas, much like India, and we were very, very impressed with this whole Spanish team. Of course, highlighted by Lydia Valentin, but the entire team was tremendously impressive. So I'm surprised to see her as well as the Colombian in this B group.
And maybe that's why. Solid looking opener for Hernandez Martin.
And some people do deliberately, for whatever reason, put them in the B group. I had a country who was not going to be here for the verification meeting and asked me to place their total in. And I said, what total do you want? They told me. And I said, you realize it's going to put you in the B group? They said, yes, that's our point. So, okay, no problem. We can make that happen.
It's not entirely unheard of to have lifters medal or even win out of the B group at World Championships. So, and that'll be a no lift for Kumuk Jam of India. Didn't quite get the bar high enough there on the pull. Check out the replay here. And as Phil mentioned earlier on the stream, this World Championships is the first of the 2020 quad, as we like to call them in weightlifting. We have a total of 328 lifters from more than 60 nations.
Yeah, it's an impressive total for championships after the Olympic Games. In Wrocław, Poland, they had, in the 200s, I think it was about 240 or so. Of which, of course, 15 were from the United States and 15 more from Poland. And that was with, of course, the 9 countries who are not present due to their doping issues in their country. Well, that didn't look too solid from Sarah Ostas from Norway, but she goes away with 78 kilo total. And again, these are nice totals coming out, or nice snatch numbers coming out of this B group. Obviously not so much for Vietnam, but very nice lifting through into this Colombian, Spanish, Mexican group, as well as Mauritius and India still.
Yeah, definitely.
And we've got Spain and Mexico both in at 83, and that's again a very, very nice number. That might lead on to an 85 or an 86, and that's healthy numbers. Bear in mind, it was a 200 kilo total that was the bronze medal in 2013, and that was the next one down is in the 190s. So this is if you can go from in the high 180s, come into the low 110s in the clean and jerk, you're right in the 190s. For those of you who need math,
that's most of us at this point,
including me. I have a calculator handy.
And that'll be no lift for Rihanna Soa of Mauritius. She will be credited with her second attempt at 78 kilograms, so we'll see her in just a little bit, coming out for the clean and jerks as we enter the back third of the snatch portion of the women's 53 kilogram B session. We chatted a little bit earlier. We have over 60 nations represented here in Anaheim, and that is with 9 nations which are currently suspended from international competition. So very diverse showing here.
It's again, nice numbers. We were surprised by how many entries we got. I will highlight we are very, very sad to not have DPR Korea. They chose not to enter. We can all speculate as to the reasons why. Whether that's to do with the Junior World Championships being taken away, or whether that's to do with our own political relationship with DPR Korea. But we are very sad not to have them here. In the United States, it would have been a very, very nice way to show sport being above politics for DPR Korea and ourselves.
All right, well, we have Sinistera Torres coming out for her second attempt after what looked like a piece of cake on her first. And much the same with that lift. She's excited. She's showing her enthusiasm. No question about that. She's pretty fantastic snatcher here. And Phil, you had mentioned not having.
Wow.
Yeah. The DP.
If you're watching at home and haven't snatched, that's how.
That's how you just do that, and you're good to go.
Yeah. It honestly is just that easy.
Oh, it's so much easier to talk about
It
lifting.
is. It is. Notice how I'm not competing.
I ran into my old coach, Dennis Reno, yesterday when we were about to kick off the competition, and he told me point blank, no ifs, ands, or buts, David, I never thought you'd make it to the World Championships.
Huh. Well, look, we're glad to help.
You know, and it's, some of us do it in a non-traditional sense, not as athletes.
Yes, yes. I've been to the World Championships and the Olympic Games, but never as an athlete.
I think that ship might have sailed for us, Phil.
I still hold out some help. I'm waiting for bowling to get into the Olympic Games.
All right, great looking lift for Lopez Ferrer.
She looks in nice shape, same as Yanni Sinista Torres from Colombia, and the Spanish athlete Hernandez Martin coming up now. They've all looked tremendous in their openers, and in the case of the Mexican and Colombians, the second. It's I guess to be culturally appropriate, BBM.
All right, here we have the second attempt for Hernandez Martin at 83 kilograms. Looked very strong on her first. Just 4 more attempts left in the snatch portion of this 53 kilogram B session.
And having said she looks solid in our opener, not so much on the second attempt. I think I might have jinxed the Spanish.
And she points to her head right after that lift. It's mental.
Yeah.
She has to make the mental corrections.
Yeah, and she's looked great in training here in Anaheim, but also out in Las Vegas. So I would say that's probably an accurate diagnosis by Hernandez Martin there.
And Phil, you talked earlier, the DPRK is unfortunately not at this World Championships. They did have a good presence in Houston in 2015. Did very well there.
They did.
And another country that is well represented here in Anaheim is Iran.
Absolutely.
And we're
very happy about it.
There was a little bit of there were a few question marks, especially with one of their lifters, one of their more accomplished, more famous lifters.
Janusz Rostami.
But he was able to secure a visa with big help from USA Weightlifting and the U.S. Olympic Committee.
And the U.S. Department of State, yes. That looks like she might have mentally prepared a little bit more for this particular lift.
Yeah, I think she's fired up for this one. 90% of the game is half mental.
I like that.
Closer, but still loses that in front. So she will be credited with her opening attempt at 80 kilograms, and we'll see her in just a bit for the clean and jerks. We're down to our final 2 snatches here in the women's 53 kilogram B session at the 2017 IWF World Championships, hosted and presented by USA Weightlifting for Barbend.com, the official media partner of USA Weightlifting. I'm David Tao, joined on the commentary by Phil Andrews. Like I said, just 2 more lifts to come in this session, one of which belongs to Yeni Sinistera Torres of Colombia, a youth lifter, but don't let her age fool you. She's got quite the competition history under her belt.
Yes, she does. She's a very experienced lifter. She's very tall for a 53, and very long limbs for a 53. I've been waiting for her to go, frankly, to 63 for a long time, let alone 58, just because of her sheer height. But, you know, she does tremendously well given, I wouldn't say deficiencies, but those physics.
All right, we'll check out the replay there, but does miss that behind her.
Yeah, she made 85 earlier this year.
I actually think one result I don't have up in front of us, Phil, and that's my fault, is I don't have her performance at the Pan Ams this year.
Yeah,
And I think she actually might have done 86 there.
which makes sense. So I'm a little surprised to see only 81 on the board for her, but putting my Team USA biased hat on for a moment, that helps us out with Caitlin Hogan potentially. So
Who we will see in the A session.
we will see in the A group. She is a 198 entry total. She matched the American record at 193 in Miami, held by Melanie Roach or Melanie Kozov. And we're hoping that we see that disappear. We boosted her total up a little bit to make sure she got into the A and was successful. And there's still plenty of room to get good openers on the board.
Oh, just misses it behind. So that will conclude the snatch portion of the women's 53 Bs here. Just one lifter going 3 for 3 in this session, and that was Katrine Brun of Denmark. But we'll watch the replay here of Anna Lopez Ferro's final lift.
In the event.
I'm thrilled, but and maybe a little bit surprised that you've been able to take the time, and we really do appreciate having you on this morning. And hopefully we'll be able to ask you some questions and get kind of the insider's perspective on what it's like to organize an event at such a massive scale. Not the only big event you've been in charge of organizing this year.
Thank you. And this has been a challenge and a tremendous honor for the United States to host the World again here in Anaheim. They've got a tremendous team, but first of all, we have some lifters coming to the platform.
And our first lifter for this session will be Rachel Hayes of Israel. She's opening at 66 kilograms. Great looking stage there. National Weightlifting Federation. This session is streamed by USA Weightlifting in partnership with their official media partner, Barbend.com. My name is David Tao with Barbend.com, and I am joined in just a second by Phil Andrews of USA Weightlifting, and we'll be bringing you action live here this morning in Anaheim.
All right, I'm sorry, David. I've learned that my average lap time for the World Championships is roughly about 3 hours.
Not a problem at all, Phil. And again, we're thrilled to have you this morning on the live stream while you're organizing the event itself. So great to have you on and getting your insights into the event and the lifting we're seeing here this week. All right, this will bring up the second attempt of the session. This is Freya Morrow of Great Britain, 87 kilograms on the barbell. All right, it's a good-looking opener for Morrow. A lifter Phil is very familiar with, lifting.
Yes,
lifter from
indeed.
Great Britain.
I follow the Great Britain team pretty closely. It's ultimately I'm an American, and first of all, Team USA. That's both my job and my co-nationality. But ultimately, I was brought up in Great Britain, and that's still have some affiliation with GBR for sure.
All right, this will bring up Rachel Hayes with 88 kilograms. Looked pretty solid on her opener. And I actually feel we were wondering a little bit in the first session if she's lives in Israel or if she's potentially American Israeli. Wasn't actually able to find much more information on that at the time, but here we'll see her coming out for her second attempt, 88 kilograms. Takes a bit of a tumble to the stage there. She's okay though, not able to recover from the split position. My guess is we'll see her either attempt that again or maybe go up a kilogram to give herself a little more time. Looks like we do have another lifter scheduled to open at 89 kilograms. So watch right here, just kind of gets pushed down under the jerk. Yeah, maybe a little bit out front of her as well. And for those just tuning in, this is the 2017 IWF World Championships, the first time ever that the United States is hosting consecutive senior world championships. The U.S. also hosted the event in 2015 in Houston, at a pretty phenomenal event, the largest world championships in the history of the sport. Of course, in 2016, there was the Rio Olympic Games, so we didn't have a world championships. And we're back in the U.S. in 2017. Now, it was just announced that in 2018, it will not be in the United States. So, no chance for a three-peat, Phil.
It isn't. It isn't. And we're sad. But it will be in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan. We hope they'll do a good job. We've offered our support to them and anything they need. We'll send our full team into the wilds, as we always do in the United States, and hope to enjoy some good lifting in Ashgabat.
All right, this will bring up Katrine Brun of Denmark. She was the only lifter in the session to go 3 for 3 in the snatch portion, so we'll see if she can continue her streak here. And therefore, the only lifter with a chance to still go 6 for 6. A little soft in the elbows there, so clean looked very strong, but 3 red lights. Yeah, I would agree with the judges there.
Yeah, no lift.
Now we can watch on the replay. Even from this angle, I think you'll be able to see some softness in the elbows. Yeah, I see a definite rebend there on the right arm. A little bit in the left as well. No lift. We'll see her come out and take her second attempt after the final attempt for Rachel Hayes of Israel. She made her opener. Nope. Looks like we might have a change. All right, there's a 2-minute clock on for Bruin right now. So while we're determining who our next lifter is going to be, it's worth noting that we have approximately 328 lifters from over 60 nations.
That's right.
In attendance here in Anaheim. Obviously, the host United States is well represented. Haven't seen a U.S. lifter yet
Nope.
on the stage,
Start.
but for those U.S. fans tuning in, there's a great U.S. squad, and it has been a bit since the United States has won a World Championships medal at the senior level, but that streak could end this year.
We hope. We hope.
All right, Katrine Bruin coming out, her second attempt, 89 kilograms, so she is taking her 2-minute clock, following herself. Much stronger looking lift for Bruin. And they'll give that one to her. So she is on the board. And we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this is the first time the U.S. has ever hosted back-to-back World Championships. You have to go back to the 1970s to find the last time we hosted 2 senior World Championships in the same decade. And, of course, the U.S. becoming a more regular host of high-profile international weightlifting events corresponds with the sport's growth in the United States overall, and a big part of that is the work of Phil and his team at USA Weightlifting.
Thank you very much. Very kind. We've tried to become a more active participant in the weightlifting community, and I think we've perhaps achieved that. So
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who wouldn't call the U.S. more active compared to even 5 years ago. And unfortunately, that'll be a no lift for Hayes, much like her second attempt, maybe even a little bit more pronounced. When the barbell comes off her shoulders for the jerk portion, just kind of shoots it out in front instead of over her center of mass. We'll be able to see that on the replay here. Clean was a bit of a struggle. She actually made a really good correction here at the bottom. Almost tilted forward, but was able to save it. And then right here, I think we're going to see the barbell come forward off of her shoulders almost immediately.
yeah, just out front too much. I mean, it was straight up there, strong enough for it. Just a little technical issue on the front.
Actually, you know, in that replay, I saw more of her body moving back instead of the bar maybe moving forward. But she will be credited with her opener at 85 kilograms for a 151 kilogram total. And with that, we see the second attempt of Frere Morrow, 90 kilograms on the barbell, lifter from Great Britain. Still a junior lifter, birth year 1998. Pretty great looking jerk. Very strong overhead lifter from Great Britain. Phil mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and I'll say I can see why the British Federation is very excited for her, promising young lifter. Performing well today so far. Right there. That's how you want to do it, folks. Nice quick punch out overhead, brings the feet back in line. No question on the lockout there. All right, we do have 11 lifters in this session today. That's actually on the larger side as far as sessions this week here in Anaheim. The session after this, the women's 58 kilogram B category, B session, there are only 8 lifters, and we've had some sessions as small as 7 lifters.
Yeah.
So 11, if you're used to watching and listening to the color commentary at national events, At those events, we'd call a session of 14 or 15 lifters pretty big. Here at the World Championships, 11's on the larger side. So the good news is these sessions can go pretty quick. And this will bring up Katrine Bruin of Denmark, her third and final attempt. If she makes it, she will be 5 for 6 on the day. Again, the only lifter in this session to go 3 for 3 in the snatches. Looked very strong in her second attempt. 4-kilo jump. It's a pretty healthy jump for this bodyweight category. All right, great fight there, and that will be a good lift for Katrine Bruin of Denmark. And as far as I'm aware, that is a 6-kilogram international competition PR for her, which is
impressive.
A pretty big deal. So great lifting today from Bruin. 5 for 6 on the day, 169-kilogram total, 10-kilogram total PR on the international stage. So she's got to be happy with her performance for today.
Very, very nice. Very nice. That's nice total there, and hopefully sign of good things to come for Denmark.
All right, let's bring up Freya Morrow's third and final attempt, her last lift of the day. This would move her to a 163-kilogram total if she makes this. Much better clean. All right, that's successful. 3 for 3 in the clean and jerks, 163-kilogram total, and that is, while not a total PR for her, it is a clean and jerk PR for her, competition clean and jerk PR for her by 1 kilogram. So
yeah, nice job. It's again nice, young, promising lifter. Nothing too exciting there, but pretty good.
All right, with that, we'll bring up the first attempt for Jenny Sinistera Torres, who is opening actually a little lighter than I might expect. I was fortunate enough to commentate on her session at the Pan American Championships earlier this year, which was also hosted by USA Weightlifting a little bit west of Miami earlier this year. And she's a lifter who we know is certainly capable of hitting clean and jerks into the 3 digits. Looks like a toy for her. We see that wide regrip between the clean and jerk portions of the lift that a lot of South American lifters are known for, and she's not the only member of the Colombian national team to use that technique. It is one of the ways that she overcomes having very long limbs, especially for this weight category. Maybe one of the taller athletes you will see in this weight category on the international stage.
Right.
And now we have Thi Nguyen No of Vietnam. She bombed out in the snatches, unfortunately. Let's see how she does here in the clean and jerks. Well, better success here already than in the snatch portion. She's on the board with 95 kilograms. So while not able to post a total today, this is the World Championships. Athletes who are not successful with any snatches can still come back and attempt clean and jerks and compete for medals in the clean and jerk.
Right.
Good looking lift there. And this will bring up Cham of India, an athlete who some folks at USA Weightlifting were lucky enough to see at the Las Vegas training camp, which a number of countries participated in.
Yes.
A good looking opener from her. And if you're just tuning in, this is the 2017 IWF World Championships. If you're looking for the Weightlifting World Championships, hey, you've come to the right place. Live from the Anaheim Convention Center. This is the first session of the day. We have a full day of action. Start with some of our first A sessions a little later on this afternoon. If you're tuning in from the U.S., we have yet to see an American lifter take the stage, but we
Caitlin Hogan.
See that with Caitlin Hogan a little later on today.
Absolutely. We're hoping for a good performance from her.
And this will bring up the first attempt for Reina Vasoa of Mauritius. Kilos on the barbell. Number of athletes attempting or opening at this weight. All right, that'll be a good lift for Reina Vasoa, the fourth athlete in a row to open at 95 kilograms, and that's about what we'd expect to see for this bodyweight category on the international stage at this level. You know, you'd expect to see these athletes hitting at or above 95 kilograms. So not surprised to see a number of athletes grouped right around that number. Bar goes up to 96, and we'll see Alsis of Norway, her opening attempt. She looked very strong in the snatch portion, 2 for 3. Part of the Nordic contingent here in Anaheim, very strongly represented. Bit of a fight, has to wait a good long while for the down signal there. And 2 red lights against. I think they might have seen some softness in the elbows there. Let's check that out on the replay. Good fight, but not enough to come away with it there. Clean looked pretty good. Let's check this out. Yeah, I think they might have seen maybe a rebend on the right arm there. 2 minutes on the clock, so it looks like it appears like she'll be following herself. And if you're in the Anaheim area or the Los Angeles area here in Southern California, and you're looking to watch some world-class weightlifting, come on down.
This is a place to be.
It's a place to be. Literally the best place in the world to watch weightlifting this week.
That's it.
Tickets are available at the venue. You can order online, or you can get them at the box office here at the Anaheim Convention Center. The action runs through Tuesday, so over a week long. We began yesterday, and we will keep going through December 6th. And then there is a short little pause of a couple days, and weightlifting kicks off again here with the American Open next weekend.
That's right. We've got 750 or so people in the American Open who all compete here. We're hoping some of them will come early to watch the last few days of competition.
Much better effort, gets the down signal there. Makes the correction she needs to, really stick secure. So Alsis is on the board for the clean and jerks.
Yes.
And that will bring up the first attempt of Italy's Giorgia Russo, a lifter who looked very strong in her openers. Her opening 2 attempts in the snatch portion. An athlete who Phil reminded us that the Italian Federation is very bullish on.
Yeah, they've been an increasingly good federation over the last few years in terms of their performance, and I'm very happy to see it. It's been very, very good, really.
I was fortunate enough to live and actually train in weightlifting in Italy for a little while.
Really?
Back in 2010, and at the time, the real weightlifting hotspots in the country were in Sicily, Naples, a lot of this, what would be considered the southern parts of Italy. And it seems like in recent years, it's actually, the popularity of the sport has spread a little further north. They have a lot of young lifters involved now, and you can actually find weightlifting gyms, more than just one, in places like Rome. And,
yes. They've done a really They've done a really good job spreading that north towards Germany and towards the higher end of the place.
The parts of Italy that aren't really hot all year.
Correct.
All right, Lopez Farah, her first attempt, 98 kilograms on the barbell. And her elbows kind of collapsed on the recovery from the split jerk there, so that is a no lift. The feet do have to come in line. She will not have to follow herself because Hernandez Martin of Spain is listed to open at 98 kilograms. And right there, yeah, just the arms buckle a little bit. What looked otherwise like a great lift. And we're approaching about the halfway point in the clean and jerk portion. Again, with 11 lifters in this 53 kilogram B session. This is one of the larger sessions on the week, believe it or not. That might not seem like a huge session if you tune in for USA Weightlifting's national competition broadcast, but here at the World, it's on the larger end. And in fact, the IWF consolidated some C sessions into the B sessions as recently as a couple days ago. So
yes,
there was a question mark there as to whether we'd have a few C sessions, but not really. Some of them were combined into Bs. All right, opening attempt, or sorry, second attempt for Lopez Farah of Mexico. And she's able to avoid the mistake she made in the first lift and comes away with a good lift there.
And that's good news. I mean, she's obviously led out the snatch, so we're happy to see her getting aboard in the clean and jerk.
Check out the replay here. And it was right there where she lost her first attempt, but is able to keep those elbows locked out. All right, and the bar goes up to 100 kilos. We still have most lifters active in this session. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 lifters in this session currently have 100 listed as their next attempt. So very, very tight grouping in this B session here. And on the international stage, and even in continental championships, this is about what we'd expect to see from the 53 kilogram women hitting 100 kilos or above. It is one of those kind of milestone weights as far as the elite level for this body weight category.
Yes, exactly. No good with the 100.
Yeah, it seemed like
See
that.
if Russo can do the same thing.
Let's check out the replay here. It seemed like that barbell pulled her forward off the ground, and even her clean catch. Just well forward on that. Lost some thoracic stability there, yeah. So we'll see her come out and attempt that again. But right now we do have Russo, her opener. Deep into the split, and again, the arms do rebend during her jerk recovery, so that will be a no lift for Russo. I expect she'll come out and hit that on her second attempt. She's got, with so many lifters grouped right this way, she's got plenty of rest time before she has to come out and take that again.
Yeah, a little shame to see both of the high openers not able to complete the lift. Hopefully we can come back and make it on a second. Lots of people in the hundreds, so they're going to have plenty of time to rest.
Yeah, and things are going to, the pace is picking up a little bit in this session. There was a little bit of separation between a few lifters who went first in the clean and jerks, but now with pretty much every remaining lifter grouped right around this weight at 100 or 101 kilograms, we're going to see things start to move at a pretty good clip here, and this will bring up the second attempt for Yeni Sinistera Torres of Colombia, a weight we have seen her do numerous times before, so shouldn't be too much of a challenge, I'm guessing. All right, good lift for Sinistera Torres. Check out the replay here. 100 kilos remains on the bar. Now, Torres does move into, as of now, first place in the clean and jerks for this session. The only lifter to have made 100 kilograms so far. And this will bring out No of Vietnam. She did bomb out in the snatches, but was successful with her opening clean and jerk at 95 kilograms. So pretty healthy 5-kilo jump for this bodyweight category. She won't be the only one taking that jump in this weight class, though. Very good looking lift, even better than her opener.
Yeah, and very nice for her to do well on her second after such a bad performance in the clean jerk. I want to apologize to everyone, I'm a little distracted. Some fires I'm putting out across the event just now, including an executive board member who needs a hotel book.
Ooh, no worries at all, Phil, as we watch this replay. It is, an event of this scale, while not the largest event that USA weightlifting runs in a given year as far as number of lifters, potentially the most complex as far as nationalities, federations, all which have their own special requirements. Kumuk Cham, not as easy as her opener there, but we'll get 3 white lights. Jerk certainly didn't look simple or easy there, but does get it to lockout. And with that, we're entering maybe the back third of clean and jerks here in the 53B session. Now, right after this, we'll take a short break after the clean and jerks, and we will be back on with the women's 58 kilogram B session. And I believe that will be the last session that is broadcast live on USAWeightlifting.com for the day. I think they'll move over to the television broadcast after that.
Listeners in the US, but if there is no webcast rights sold in your country, then we'll still have the webcast on USAWeightlifting.org. For example, Great Britain, France, Germany, you can watch directly on our website, and for any country where the TV rights have not been sold.
That's a good reminder, Phil, and maybe a bit too U.S.-centric of me when it comes to this international competition. All right, we'll see her back out. But right now, we do have the second attempt for Hernandez-Martin staying at 100 kilograms, but with plenty of rest, knowing there were 7 lifters attempting this weight in this session. She lost it forward on the clean portion of her first attempt. All right, much better attempt there. She's fired up, 3 white lights.
She was, but I'm not sure if she was completely sure about whether she'd get the 3 whites. She just looked at the judges as in like, hi, I'm not certain that I got this.
She kind of had this, yeah, she kind of had this, that almost that like kind of shrug emoji, like, eh?
Yeah, come on, come on.
You know, I was always told when I was competing that even if you know you pressed it out, you act like you. I'll talk about that right after Russo's lift here. Much better attempt for Russo, no question there. You know, there is a level of showmanship you'll see some athletes have. Even if the lift is borderline, maybe they know they pressed it out. They'll act convinced, they'll celebrate, and you know, it's tough to say that it doesn't have an impact on the judges. If you don't believe you got the lift, they probably won't either.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Great attempt here for Russo. Real deep in the split, keeps that bar right over her body as she moves under it. Great looking attempt there. And we're now all on 3rd attempts. Every lifter left in this session is on their 3rd attempt clean and jerk. That'll be a no lift for Ofsis. She will be credited with her 2nd clean and jerk at 96 kilograms and will end with a 174 kilogram total on the day.
Yes, yeah, it's a good day for most of these lifters. Lifting over 100 in the clean and jerk is obviously pretty impressive. We're starting to get into the realm of double body weight clean and jerks.
We might see 1 or 2 attempts at that this session. Certainly something that will be almost guaranteed in the A session. But right now we will bring out the final attempt for Reina Vasoa of Mauritius. So far, 3 for 5 on the day. So move her to 4 for 6 if successful. Much stronger than her first attempt. She's happy.
Yep, she was delighted about that. Speaker's pretty excited about that too. It's a very nice total actually, 174. I think that's probably close to her best or her best maybe.
She actually has totaled as much as 180 kilograms before, but she does seem happy with her performance today, so I believe most of her previous totals around that range had actually come at a heavier body weight. She's competed as high as 69 kilograms before, so
oh, really?
down to 53.
Wow. That's an unusual cut right there.
She's also competed as a 48.
Well, she's definitely got some variety in her life.
It's the spice of life. All right, that is a successful 3rd attempt for Lopez Ferrer of Mexico. 4 for 6 on the day. Ends with a 184 kilogram total. Currently in 1st place overall in this session.
Absolutely.
Now, you know, every kilogram is important here for these B group lifters because as far as overall placings, they are kind of thrown on the same board as those who lifted in the A session. And, you know, I doubt it's going to happen here in the 53 Bs, or the women's 53 kilogram weight class, but we have seen world champions come out of B groups before.
We have. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen today. We've seen national champions domestically. We've seen world champions internationally.
All right, and with that, the third and final attempt for No of Vietnam, 103 kilograms on the bar. 0 for 3 in the snatches, but so far 2 for 2 in the clean and jerk. So pretty good way to turn her day around. All right, has to walk it out a little bit, but that will be a successful third attempt. 3 over 3 in the snatches, but 3 for 3 in the clean and jerk. So while she will not post a total, does come away with a great performance in the clean and jerk portion of today's event. So check out this replay real quick. Nice bit of lifting there. And with that, just 4 attempts left in the session, one of which belongs to Hernandez Martin of Spain, her third and final attempt. All right, now she is excited about that. 3 white lights. She will finish with 3 successful attempts on the day, 1 in the snatch, 2 in the clean and jerk. Check out the replay here.